Money, money, I love that money, 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 money. You don't really want to play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't want to be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say, stay up out of my way. Money, 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 make you shut them off. Keep playing with this Goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make a call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you're going ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud.
Live in the
much like the Giants was to get some playmakers and some speed on the field. Heineke throws and caught. Nice grab by the rookie. De'Ami Brown up to get it, and a completion for their first down of 22 yards. De'Ami Brown is beyond his years in route running already. Here's a grab for a first down, McLaurin. It's Gibson, hesitates, and maybe inches short. A record, teams went for it on fourth down. Heineke keeps and gets it on Terry McLaurin. first catch with Washington. Right now, they're just hoping their defense can make a stop. Here's Gibson. Lays a hit into McKinney. Florida Bradbury. Heineke underneath McKissick. Makes a move and he's short. It's going to be fourth down. He's got to know what the situation is. Yep, there he goes. First down. We're hoping they can use it later when they need to get a field goal out on the field if it comes down to that. Good strong throw, and that's caught by Logan Thomas. He got stood up after gain of 9. It's third down here. Humphreys. First down, out of bounds. Not a gimme. It'll be 54 from here. 7 yards to Humphreys. Here's one to McLaurin. Under 20 to go. No timeouts. Good snap. Good hold. Kick is no good. But a flag is down in the secondary. Near the Washington sideline. That was Dexter Lawrence, who came across early. And now a 43-yard try for the win. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good. Washington wins it.
Week 3, CP3 coming to you live from the lab. Sports on the Hill podcast, pregame live. I'm coming on a little bit early today. Got a couple of scheduling conflicts. You know, we got 3 shows today. We got the pregame, we got the postgame, and we have At the Bar Radio starting around 6 o'clock tonight. We have a special guest, local basketball legend, international basketball player, Brian Bridgeforth will be coming through. We also have always playing the best independent music videos, talking, current events, entertainment news, and everything that's popping. What's going on in today's news, Make sure you tune in because, we bring you the best content around. My YouTube feed got taken down, so I'll reshare that on the feed later on. I'll get to that later on. But we have a huge matchup in week 3. You just saw the highlights of week 2, where the Washington football team was fortunate to get the victory after that late interception because of a bad play call, in my opinion, even though Scott Turner justified his reason for throwing the ball on 2nd and 7. I still say you should have ran the ball, run the clock out, and Giants would have never got the ball in their hands again. But we were fortunate with them getting offside on a 48-yard field goal attempt that Dustin Hopkins missed. He was able to redeem himself and earn a victory. They're going up against Buffalo, who's also 1-1. They haven't been looking like the team that they were last year, just like the Washington football team's defense. The offense is still getting itself together, improving. Matter of fact, with Buffalo, they haven't been in top-notch form as of yet, and hopefully they don't get healthy on this Washington football team today, because our defense definitely has been lacking. Excuse me. I was looking at the numbers, and looking at the numbers, this could be a recipe for disaster if this defense doesn't come out there and dictate what needs to happen at the line of scrimmage and get Buffalo off the field, because they definitely have a potent offense. They have a top-notch quarterback in Josh Allen, and if you give him time in the pocket, he will pick you apart, especially with the likes of Stephon Diggs, one of the top wide receivers in the league, University of Maryland product. So, this is definitely going to be a interesting game. I'm going to do a quick little pregame. I'm going to have the postgame after. And then, as always, on Monday on Sports on the Hill, we'll break down the game. Not sure if I'm going to have Dujanay or Big Hurt coming on again. We had a great great segment last week. You can always go check that out on my YouTube channel, Carol Porter III. We had a great episode, talked about everything from the victory, from the coaching, the game planning, the players that need to step up. So you can go check that out and go check out the website, sportsothp.com. You can also find it on there also. But let's get into the numbers of this game for this week, because we can't talk about last week. It would seem so long ago, being it was a Thursday night game. But offensively, Washington, they've been slow starters for a while now, but the numbers are improving with, looking the way they looked last year. I was going back to look at them. And total offense, they're averaging 342 yards, which is 23rd. Buffalo is averaging 354, which is 20th. Passing, Washington is throwing the ball at 26 yards a game.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Now, sir, I just had an update, and now they want to come on and interrupt my show. Passing 226 yards, which is 19th in the league. Buffalo's 212 yards, which is 26th. Rushing, Washington is averaging 106 yards, which is 19th. Buffalo's averaging 130, which is 16th, which is interesting because Buffalo said they want to run the ball more. And one of my keys of victory is Washington needs to run the ball more because the play balance has definitely not been there. Points offensively, Washington is averaging 23, which is 15th in the league. And Buffalo's averaging 25.5, which is 11th in the league. And on third down conversions, once again, Washington football team, 30.4%, which is last in the league. Buffalo is at 48.4, which is 15th in the league. And yeah, we saw the third down conversions improve last week, even though they did have a couple of instances where they should have got off the field on third and long, and they didn't. But they did better numbers than they did against the Chargers. They were horrible. They gave up 14 and 19. It's definitely going to be important for this team to get off the field on third downs because you get this team more life and more chances to score. They will score on you. The fact that they're averaging 23 points for the offense, it's a pleasant surprise. We've had trouble getting over 20 points, averaging over 20 points, that is. And they're sitting at 23, so hopefully Heineke can keep that going today with the offense. And hopefully, like I said, we see some balance running the ball and getting Antonio Gibson the ball because he's definitely wants to get the ball and definitely has been gaining positive yards when he does get the ball. Defensively and stats-wise, this is what has me a little concerned when I was checking these numbers out. Total defense, Washington's giving up 419 yards a game, which is 24th. Buffalo's only giving up 250, which is second. Passing yards, Washington's giving up 281 yards, which is 24th. Buffalo's giving up 161 yards, which is second. Rush yards, Washington's giving up 126 a game, which is 23rd. Buffalo's only giving up 73 yards a game, which is fourth. Points, Washington's giving up 24.5, which is 16. Buffalo's giving up 11.5, which is 12, which is second, I'm sorry. Third down conversions, Washington's giving up 58.1%, which is 30th. Buffalo's giving up 40%, which is 15th. Now, Buffalo's numbers look that impressive because they did shut out Miami last week. So, basically they split in half what they did against week 1. So their defense is definitely capable. They have a top cornerback that's going to be matched up with Terry. I didn't write his name down. I forgot his name. But they played in Terry's rookie season, and he pretty much locked Terry down. So Terry definitely has something to prove today, and he's definitely stepped his game up and improved each year that he's been in the league. I got a feeling that's going to be a definite key matchup along with Stephon Diggs against our secondary. The miscues that we've seen, the blown coverages that we've seen, you cannot have that against him because we know what he can do. So definitely got to be stout and smart and play effective defense today because if they don't do that, this thing could turn ugly early. And we don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Individual stats, Taylor Heineke, he's 45 for 61, 458 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, with a 104.4 quarterback rating. We mentioned last week he's had the NFL record 94 completions in his first 3 starts, which is an NFL record never been done before. So it's a feather in his cap. Josh Allen is 47 for 84 with 449 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception with a 77.9 quarterback rating. Antonio Gibson has 33 rushes for 159 yards with a 4.8 yard average, no touchdowns. Singletary for Buffalo has 24 carries, 154 yards, 6.4 yards a carry with 1 touchdown. Terry McLaurin has 15 catches, 169 yards with 11.2 yard reception average with 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs has 13 catches, 129 yards with a 9.9 yard average of 1 touchdown. So these guys' stats are pretty close right now. Terry has the edge in yards by like 40 yards. They both have a touchdown. But they're definitely going to be key matchups for both teams, and also Antonio Gibson for the Buffalo defense if they give Gibson the ball enough. I mean, he gets going with 20 carries. He can do that. He's young. This is his second year. Last week he only had 13 carries, but he was still averaging 5.5 yards a carry, but they didn't give him the ball. I don't know if that was because of the late game fumble in week 1. They were going against him when they decided on that 2nd and 7. But he had run for 11 yards on the first carry. On the first carry, he got carrying 2 defenders with him for the first down. So I don't want to rehash that. That's just, the coach in me. Scott Turner definitely has to step his game planning and play calling up, because that's definitely going to be key for a victory in this game, which is the perfect segue for my keys to victory for this game. The first key, offense has to get off to a fast start. Can't have this, getting going after the second quarter started and you're down 7 or you're down 10 points. If we get the ball first, they have to score on that possession. Field goal, touchdown, just get something on the board, get some momentum, get some chemistry going, get the ball moving, and try to set the standard for what today is going to be like. Go out there on a mission to get a touchdown or at least get points on that first offensive possession and build off of that throughout the game. Second key, gotta run the ball. I mentioned run pass balance. I mentioned, Scott Turner not running the ball enough in that instance last week. So gotta run the ball. You got Antonio Gibson, dual threat. You saw what the Panthers was doing with Christian McCaffrey, which is the same thing they want to do here with Gibson, have him integral in the run game and the pass game, which opens up things for your wide receiver when they start keying on your running back and trying to shut him down. Then you get one-on-one matchups, or you get favorable matchups, and your wide receivers can then take over and make plays also. So it's all generated off of the run game. You got to have balance. Number 3, as I said, the game plan. The game plan on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, has to put these players in position to win. If you know they have weaknesses that's going to get exploited, don't call those plays that's going to do that unless you necessarily have to, and then they have to go out there, step up and execute, but play to their strengths. We've seen a lot of zone coverage. We've seen a lot of 4-man rushes. But when Del Rio decides to send pressure, the pressure is getting home. This early in the season, this isn't the same defense that we saw late in last season. They built up to that. We started out the season, at the bottom of the league in defense, and they worked up to that. So you got to let these folks, put them in a position to win, do the things to their strengths that they have right now, and the other things will click and develop throughout the season like we saw last year. That's the one frustrating thing with me with Del Rio, especially me being an ex-defensive coordinator. It just blows my mind that he sits back in coverage and zone when, he wants to get pressure with the front four. They have a dominant front four, but teams know that, so they're prepared for that now. So sometimes you have to, give them a hand to help them do their jobs, because it's no longer a secret the pressure that the front can do. I mean, Jonathan Allen is having a great start to the season, but other than that, the D-line has been quiet, and also Matty Unitas is out with a knee. What's up, Mark? Yeah, definitely got to execute on D. Appreciate you checking us out. I didn't really share it. I'm going to share the show later on. closer to game time once I, like I said, got some scheduling stuff going on. Appreciate you checking us out in this earlier edition. I'm gonna share when we get the inactive list and everything. Number 4, key to victory. Defense has to step up and make plays. No more time for excuses. No more time for, we're learning things. We're trying to figure things out. We got to make plays. Yeah, it's time to stop talking about it. It's time to start doing it. We all, was touting how good the defense was going to be. Normally the defense starts better than the offense when the season starts. We're kind of seeing the opposite. We've seen flashes of what this defense can be, but we haven't seen it consistently. So we have to see it consistent from the first snap of the ball to the end of the game. Solid team defense, pressure, no blown assignments, no dumb penalties. I should have put that on the penalties. Had entirely too many penalties last week. Got to be more disciplined. I guess my last 5A, since I just threw in the penalties, last key to victory is time of possession. You cannot give Buffalo opportunities with the ball and let them control the clock. Because, like I said, it can turn ugly. They've trailed in time of possession in both games that they've played in this year, Washington that is, and that's because the lack of running the ball. First game was because of third down conversions. They couldn't get off the field, even though they were running the ball effectively. Last week, they didn't run. They just chose not to run the ball. They had under 20 carries as a team. So we're going to see how things play out today, but those are my keys to victory for the game. Make sure you check out the post game between 20 to 25 minutes after the game is over. I got to get my graphics and get everything set up, take my notes. So check that out. As I said, 6 o'clock at the Bar Radio. As always, bringing you the best coverage of current events, politics, independent music. And tonight we have a special guest, Sports on the Hill podcast special guest, Brian Bridgeforth, local legend, basketball player and international player. He'll be leaving to go play in Jordan, I believe, in a couple of weeks. So, he's living his dream. Maybe not the NBA dream, but he's still, living his dream of being a professional ball player. He does a lot of charity stuff. He just had a charity event last week. I'm going to have him talk about, what fueled him to, chase his dream and, be able to make that transition to international, ball instead of, not chasing his dream if he didn't make the NBA. We've seen so many times with so many local stars. But, yeah, check that out. We also have another guest. I didn't write her name down here this early. Bear with me. But appreciate y'all checking me out. As always, DC Sports without the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do. CP3, live from